there's this thing that happens for every single one of us. And our art practice is like one of the best places to become aware of it. And then we'll also see it extend out in your creative business as well. So this thing, this big mythical thing, is the ascending spiral. And I like to think of it as if I'm climbing the spiral stairs of a lighthouse, right? And so you'll see me doing this all the time in your mentoring sessions. So I want to just lay it out here because it's a foundational piece of the common language that we're going to share that applies to both the recipe for the art that you make as well as a roadmap that you make for your creative career. So imagine that I'm climbing the stairs of a lighthouse, right? And over here, through these windows, I can see the gorgeous ocean, like endless horizon. It's just like, I'm super inspired and stoked to look out that way. It's just like, it's awesome, right? Yes, confidence. That's that side. Now, spiral stairs, you gotta take one step, then the next, then the next to make progress. So over here is the parking lot. And it's like stinky dumpsters and bathrooms, and there's a bunch of cars and a huge highway. And I don't know about you, but I just go, climate change, garbage, what are we doing? Like, it gets me into an existential crisis every time to be a participant in modern society. You may not have the same particular views of like bliss and fear, but for the purposes of this experience together, I want to learn your own particular flavor of inspiration and confidence and dread, overwhelm, doubt, etc., right? So back to the lighthouse. So say I'm climbing up a spiral staircase to get to the top of the lighthouse. So every time, and pretend there's like a window at every level. So every time I come around to this window here, I'm like, wow, the ocean, awesome, yes. And then I climb up another level, so I'm still making progress, right? But then I'm confronted by this garbage and this highway and like destruction, right? So I'm confronted, I'm like, fuck, but I gotta keep going. So I take the next step and I take the next step. And as long as I take the next step, look where I am again. Because the spiral returns me to this viewpoint. My viewpoint, my friends, is you as an artist in motion. That's my commitment, is to always accompany you taking the steps that it takes to get back to this viewpoint, knowing that as soon as you start to grow or level up, you'll encounter, I'm gonna walk on my dog here, you'll encounter this one again in some form. So tangibly speaking, what that means for you and your art might be this, is the bliss and inspiration that comes from starting a new piece or having a new idea. And then as you take steps to start working on it, you'll encounter some form of like, oh no, this looks ugly, or I don't know what I'm doing, or some form of doubt or fear. And that's where I really want to hear what's your bliss and what's your fear, right? Because your recipe is built on the steps to keep you making progress between the viewpoints. That's the nugget that I want you to start this Accelerator program with. That's what makes your unique recipe for your art, is taking all that into account. What freaks you out? What blisses you out, right? That's gotta be in there. And in your creative business, it's the same expression. Launching is vulnerable, right? You launch, you sell 7 paintings. Yes! 7 paintings, this is so vulnerable. Oh my God, I have to mail them out. Now I have the loss of the paintings, plus what if I never make anything good again? Plus there's still 6 more to sell. I kind of feel like a failure because I thought I'd sell them all. That's your form of doubt, right? We learn how to walk through that back into follow up. Invite them to buy the rest. Oh my God, they bought the rest of them. Oh, now I have to make more, right? It's just on and on and on. So in the structure here, you'll have a deep, intimate time to practice it. And then the paradox is it's lifelong. Of course, you'll constantly be leveling up my hope is that you're like, boom, in the most expansive, embodied version of your vision. And that's the secret sauce, is just learning your steps, how to stay in motion creatively. All right, your next assignment is gonna be about embodying your inner artist. And trust me, I come from this culture of woo that is actually very helpful. And you may be hot to trot on woo, like all about this visioning stuff, or you may be like, come on, lady, give me my marketing plan. I wanna make some money, right? Know that this is an important foundational piece to tap you into your unique vision of expansion. So we have that to return to and remind you every level of this process. Okay, it's gonna be awesome. I'm so excited you're here. Again, welcome, I'm Anamika. I'm so honored to be in this process with you, and I can't wait to see what you create. Mwah.